Egg yolk, what is going on and what is ripe with my people, the Chico Army, and any first timer of the channel, a viewer of the tube. I'm the host Tyler, and you just entered the crypto channel that gets more hype than this big boy on the roof.
I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't been on the roof. Never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't gay on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy grill on the roof. Never seen a big boy grill on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy grill on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Big boy grilling on the roof. Big boy ain't grilling on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. Big boy ain't vibing on the roof. I ain't never see a big boy get on the roof. How you do it like that? Damn, you got titties on your back.
You know our friendly banter. It's time for Chico Crypto. Well, big moves in the crypto markets aren't happening. It's all about consolidation. For over 2 months now, since early May, we have been consolidating into the 9K to 10K range. And over the past month, this range has gotten even tighter, basically between 9,500 and 9K. And you know what that usually means, a big move, one to get the markets a rumbling. Checking out this Bitcoin volatility chart, we can see since late 2018 when the markets start to consolidate, aka volatility drops, it is usually followed by a big jump up. And as we can see, volatility hasn't been this low since April of last year. And then pulling out the price chart back then, we can see yes, we were sideways throughout April, hanging around the 5K range, volatility dropped. But by May, a big old pop. Now, do not take my technical analysis as anything, because it is not. The markets, they could go anywhere, but the last time it got this low volatility, the move was up. And if we possibly go up, we have to be looking at those altcoins, because if you didn't notice, they have been a-popping lately. I mean, going to CoinGecko and sorting by the top gainers over the past 7 days, it's a very long list of altcoins who have performed in the green or better than Bitcoin, like a long list. So let's dive into it, because looking back at the top of that list, as the number 6 performing coin over the past 7 days is iExec RLC, which is up 39%. And why is this? Well, we know from what I've covered that iExec is a major component of the off-chain trusted compute and confidential computing consortium. They have V5 of their platform releasing this summer, and this month they are revealing that a tech giant is joining them. Now, I made some guesses about this. At first, I thought it was Microsoft from the squares in their announcement post, but iExec is already hooked up with them and it's made public. There are pictures of their logos together and them demonstrating together. Then I thought it was AMD, Advanced Micro Devices, which I talked about in the live stream over the weekend because they have a square-like logo too, and they joined the confidential computing consortium with iExec at the same time as a new group of 10. But there is a new contender, and the crumbs make me confident it is this one. But I need to mention it's still possible it's AMD, but unlikely. So let's first see why it could still be possible it's AMD. Now, the original members of the confidential computing consortium include massive names. Of course, Microsoft and Intel, known partners of iExec, but also the likes of Facebook, ARM, Accenture, Alibaba Cloud, Huawei. But the one we need to focus on from the OGs is the powerhouse Google. So how could this tie back to iExec? Well, just yesterday, Google Cloud and AMD announced a breakthrough: Google Cloud Confidential Computing with confidential VMs. Why is this big? Well, from the release post, Google Cloud encrypts data at rest and in transit, but customer data must be decrypted for processing. Confidential computing is a breakthrough technology which encrypts data in use while it's being processed. Confidential computing environments keep data encrypted in memory and elsewhere outside the central processing unit. And then from the section of breakthrough confidentiality, customers can now protect the confidentiality of their most sensitive data in the cloud, even while it's being processed. Confidential VMs leverage the secure encrypted virtualization SEV feature of the 2nd gen AMD EPYC CPUs. Your data will stay encrypted while it is used, indexed, queried, or trained on. Encryption keys are generated in hardware per VM and not exportable. Yes, there it is. AMD is being used to power these VMs. 2 members from the confidential computing computing consortium. AMD and Google, they have built a confidential computing tool. And then, just when I was actually doing this video, iExec popped something off from a blog post titled, iExec participates in Google Confidential Computing Beta. And the post says, today, Google announced its Confidential Computing Program Beta release. iExec is proud to have joined in this program and have been working on the project since the alpha release. Oh, but like I said, I don't think this is the iExec partner, but it's still highly important for the project as a whole, which we will see. So where do I begin with this partner? Well, the crumbs begin from a tweet they did in October of 2018, which they announced their collaboration for the EA off-chain trusted compute. We know Microsoft, we know Intel, but the one we should focus on is Kailedo. So why is this company important? Well, going to their website, they are the enterprise blockchain powerhouse. And as we can see from a description from their enterprise solution, they work across clouds, including Microsoft and Amazon. Yeah, Amazon! As Amazon is a partner of theirs, Kailedo, from the AWS Partners blog posted just before iExec began working with Kailedo. Launch enterprise-ready blockchain networks on AWS in minutes with Kailedo, a consensus solution. So Chico, tell me, is Amazon their secret partner? Well, looking at Amazon's logo, no square, an arrow, but remember, it's Amazon Web Services. And looking at their logo, squares. So Chico, that's it? Squares and a weak connection to Kailedo? Well, I just want to replay this AMA session from October of 2019, in which they were asked about a big partner in an AMA. Let's watch now.
Any big name collaborations in the pipeline for us?
Yeah, and this is a question we get pretty often. And so I'm sorry to disappoint people that are waiting for a partnership announcement right now. So we'll usually don't do this during an AMA. The thing is, we're talking with different companies on a daily basis, whether it's small companies, big companies, blockchain companies, non-blockchain companies. But usually these things are quite confidential. Actually, there are even some partnerships that we've signed that we have not disclosed yet, that we have not commented on. Why? Because simply we're not a DAO, we're not a decentralized autonomous organization. So as a company, sometimes we need to keep some secrets just to preserve our competitive edge.
Now let's just replay the beginning again. When they were asked about it, all body language screams a big one, smiling, rubbing their faces and arms. Now we need to go deeper and pull out the Chico bulldozer, and the major breadcrumb was actually hiding in plain sight. Going to iExec for Enterprise website, we can see some big enterprise partners listed we do not necessarily know, like Ubisoft. But scrolling down, they have a beautiful infographic on how iExec is helping some of their partners in confidential computing. We have ARM, Fortanix, and of course that confidential computing consortium, of which Google and AMD released the confidential VM. But then you have the blockchains, of course ethereum and Kailedo, but also POA and Hyperledger. Then you have the UX and UI, including ENS, MetaMask, Uniswap, Bancor, and more. The DeFi. Finally, we have the infrastructure, which includes Microsoft Azure and Genesis Mining. Okay, but where in the freak is Amazon? Well, let's just click on the picture, why don't we, on the website? Oh, there she blows, AWS listed as infrastructure partner. A whoopsie? Well, you shouldn't make them with 4chan on the trail, as they were the ones who found this. Like I've said since the beginning of this channel, the Chan is a nasty, dirty, vile place, but has some of the best crypto research, and you just gotta learn to filter from it. But in conclusion, I kind of see the cloud computing wars, they are a-coming, and iExec is kind of in the middle of it, which isn't a bad thing. Google Cloud versus Amazon Web Services, and then AMD versus Intel. Like we mentioned, Google is using AMD hardware and their solutions. Amazon has been and will continue to use Intel, for example, from Intel's website. AWS and Intel have a long history of developing custom cloud solutions, including Amazon EC2 instances based on Intel Xenon scalable processors. And then this blog posted just a few weeks ago, AMD is poised to gain market share in the race against Intel. So iExec RLC, there is a reason it's been in the top of my portfolio for a good while. All the cloud platforms, Microsoft Azure, Google Cloud, and maybe now Amazon Web Services are partners of theirs, and being in the middle of that battle is a valuable thing. Cheers, viewers. I'll see you next time.